racist. Did y'all not grow up with a family that was like, hey, like, just so that you know, boys go with girls and girls go with boys. Redbirds go with redbirds and bluebirds go with bluebirds. Like, what the
Hey, what dude do you think? You think she saw this dude that she thought was attractive, whatever, and she is pissed. Like, he should be mine. That is so much so that she had to set her phone up and talk about it. What did you think it was, a Facebook post? Like, what did she see that got her so upset? It should have been me. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trey.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Back at it with another video.
Another one.
First and foremost, if y'all are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't cost you anything, and it helps me continue to grow. Obviously, I'm a new YouTuber. If y'all got any comments, make sure hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what y'all liking and not liking about the videos. Today, we're going to be reacting to a video from TYT Sports, and it's kind of highlighting that, even if, we do well in the midterms, and then, once Trump's done with this second and hopefully last term, we're going to have a problem in our society. The MAGA movement has stirred up a lot of things controversial that we're going to have to deal with, and that we're going to have to recover from and have to figure out a solution for. And that's what I'll say to preface the video. Let's go ahead and get into it.
I'm probably about to get canceled for this, and some of you are going to be mad, but I actually don't care at all. But it's like, it shows that some people in our generation did not grow up with the parents that said the redbirds go with the redbirds and the bluebirds go with the bluebirds. It shows, because why are we mixing races? Like, you guys, like...
So I'm stopping it there, right? First off, in the year of our Lord 2026, who says the redbirds go with the redbirds and the bluebirds go with the bluebirds? I'm a grown-ass man. I've been on this earth for decades. I'm not going to say how many years I've been on this earth, but I have never heard that saying. This is the first time I've ever heard that saying. The redbirds go with the redbirds and the bluebirds go with the bluebirds. I've never heard that. All that to say, this is, she was taught this, right? She can't be no older than 20 something, like 22, maybe 22 to 25. So she was born in the 2000s, I would imagine. So that means that in the 2000s, you still have people teaching hatred and racism and segregation to their kids. So you can't fix your mouth to say racism doesn't exist, discrimination doesn't exist. Just think about it. Like, the whole thing about affirmative action and DEI, people not being able to be discriminated against because of their race, because of their gender, because of their background, right? What if she's your boss or HR? Do you think she's going to allow the bluebirds into the office, or she's going to pick the redbirds to go into the office? Anyway, that's my rant, but it's just sad to see that, and to know that she's most likely going to teach her kids that. Kids don't learn that. That's taught. Kids don't learn to hate someone that's different from them or try and stay away from people that are different from them. They'll be curious about it when they see somebody that's different from them, but that's not going to stop them from playing, interacting, and or dating. Like, so that's learned behavior, and that is... She said, I don't know if it is. No, it is racist. Period.
Whatever. Like, that might be racist to say, but why do we mix races? Why are we not just keeping the white people with the white people, keeping the black people with the black people, keeping the Hispanics with the Hispanic? Why are we mixing races? Did y'all not grow up with a family that was like, hey, like, just so that you know, boys go with girls and girls go with boys. Redbirds go with redbirds and bluebirds go with bluebirds. Like, what the...
Hey, What dude do you think? You think she saw this dude that she thought was attractive, whatever, whatever, and she is pissed. Like, he should be mine. That is so much so that she had to set her phone up and talk about it. What did you think it was, a Facebook post? Like, what did she see that got her so upset? It should have been me. Fucking crazy.
I'm telling you, this world went to when we thought it was okay to like be mixing all these crazy races. What are we doing?
I cannot believe this woman posted this video on her own accord.
Like, let's just keep it simple. You know, let's just keep it simple. Stop changing your gender. That's a little fake and gay, as Candace would say. Stop changing your gender. Girls don't go with girls. Boys don't go with boys. Don't mix races. And don't move in with a boy until you're married. My sister and her husband got engaged. They bought a house.
Wait a minute. She just quoted Candace Owen, and Candace is married to a white dude. Like, yeah, the mental gymnastics is always insane to me. Like, you're gonna quote someone after just saying like that was one of the things that tore down, whatever she said, tore down society. That's what's wrong with the world, is once we started mixing these races. And she quoted someone that's done that. So this is somebody that you follow, that you support. So how do you support someone that does something that makes you so upset? Don't get it.
Together, my sister was not allowed to live in that house until they had said their vows and officially had married. It's just, oh, come on, like, let's be classy. Like, why are we being tacky and trashy? Ugh.
She would go on to write this as we take it full screen. I'm so opinionated lately, which is sinful. Lord, forgive me. But I just wish going to church, taking care of our bodies, and being friends with everyone, and loving and sharing Jesus' names was normal. But it's not anymore, because the whole woke generation has killed that, and we are making things that aren't normal things now. And it's disgusting. God did not create us for this. Now, there is...
I'm sorry to keep stopping this. I'm going to say this one quick. What about anything she said up to that point made you think that she was a devout Christian and she's holier than thou and so religious? This is what I've said in previous videos, and I'll say it again. People mask their hatred and their discrimination under religion, and it's got to stop. Like, this is just more evidence of the same.
A lot of tea happening here.
Serious. Mind you, this girl went to University of South Carolina with me. Same exact year, same entry year. We were in the same spaces that I was. Multiple mutuals with me on Instagram. And yet she's since deactivated her accounts, and she says she cares so little that she doesn't care or cancel me. Deactivate her Instagram, deactivate her TikTok. Pretty sure she got fired. I tried to send you a message on Instagram, but I guess I'll just say it here. You are 24 years old and you're the product of indoctrination by your family, yet you are a college graduated woman and you still have a belief system like this. Do you know how dangerous of a person you are to be around? Genuinely. Like, you are not a safe person for people of color to be. The fact that I even probably was in the same bars as you at the same time, that is horrifying to me. It is terrifying that you exist and you're allowed to walk amongst the general public. People wonder why the South is so backwards, because rumor mill has it that your mother is an elementary school teacher. So what? She's gonna see two kids of different races playing together and think, "Oh my God, I can't
we
believe,
got to shut
can't
this
believe
down." Like, whoa! Did you not get the red birds and the bluebirds talk? Like, go, Johnny. You go over there to the swings. Whatever, Becky. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You go over to the slide. Y'all stop that shit.
then that they can't beat it. What the are you serious? And you have the gall to say, "I'm shocked. Did your parents never teach you that?" No, my parents don't believe in segregation. What the are you talking about?
This queen, Brielle, would spill it.
You are a disgrace to your university. You're a disgrace to your state. You're a disgrace to your race and your gender. You're a disgrace to your religion, because you have the nerve to bring God into it in the next slide and be like, yeah, like, we just need to, like, God would be disgusted. And if we want to be biblically accurate, Jesus was a brown man. Like, people think that way. And it's because their parents taught them that and their grandparents taught them that, and it's years and years and years, and it's probably back to when they owned a plantation in South Carolina, I'm sure, if we want to go back that far. And it makes me so sad because the South is such a beautiful place, and people like you and your family, like, make it inhabitable, especially for, and I'm saying that as a white woman. Imagine how you make the people around you feel. And University of South Carolina, you clearly need to do better. You clearly need to have an understanding the basics of a race class, understanding the basics of racism and segregation and the history of the South.
God.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what she just said, like, the first girl, I don't know who, whatever, she, as she was making the video, said, oh, it might be racist. So that means in her heart of hearts, she really doesn't believe that she's racist, right? She doesn't think there's anything wrong with viewing the world that way. She doesn't think it's racist. She doesn't think she's being hateful at all. Trust me, I would bet money that she doesn't really believe that she's racist. She thinks that everybody else is just being sensitive and, you know, easily offended by, like, having an issue with the things that she's saying. And that's the problem. She doesn't even know it. She doesn't even know it's racist. She doesn't really identify the fact that that is racist, man. It just is what it is.
Bless her for doing so. According to the Nerd Stash, her name is Camille. Now, if there's any irony here, all right, she brought up Candace Owens, seeming to praise her, then also alluded to race mixing being sinful, per se. And, you know, I'm sorry to share.
A shared love of right-wing politics, the hand of God, and a FaceTime proposal before they'd even been on a date. Candace Owens' husband wooed her in an unusual way. Political commentator Candace Owens seems to be always on the attack. From hurling insults at Democrats to sharing anti-vax rhetoric to inciting unlikely Twitter feuds with Cardi B, Owens continues to occupy the spotlight as a controversial conservative media figure.
But I think it is wrong for our society to keep perverting things.
Owens undoubtedly has strong opinions about men in today's world. As a result, many are wondering what makes the man in her life, husband George Farmer, stand out. On brand with her outspoken persona, Candace Owens' husband comes from a family with a political background. British-born George Farmer is the son of Lord Michael Farmer, a member of an elite lawmaking government body called the House.
Wait, and he's British-born, so he's an immigrant too. Conservatives are off the chain, man. The hypocrisy just, like, levels.
Of Lords. George reportedly graduated from St. Peter's College at Oxford University with a degree in theology. Like his wife, George Farmer has staunch conservative values. He's the former chairman of a right-wing group Turning Point UK and was recently named the CEO of Parler, a microblogging app used almost exclusively by far-right Trump supporters.
So, what do you make of this, Camille? I'm genuinely curious. The person that you look up to, the person that you practically served, at least in this context, as an influence, going against what you believe, interesting stuff. Now, with Owens.
First thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man. It's very sad that Eminem cleaned out his closet but never came out of his closet. Okay, a lot going on here. I think first and foremost, I just would like to again remind people that he is in fact a struggling internally gay man.
I think LeBron means to do bad. I just don't think he's that smart. I really do. I think LeBron James is low IQ.
Yeah, I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is...
Candace is such a fucking evil human being. Like, for real. Like, I don't know what... like, you know, her company, you know, the producing room and things of that nature, when they're sitting around a table discussing how they're going to talk and what they're going to say and things of that nature. And they just, the most rage-inducing take and term and controversial stuff. She's like, that's the way, that's the one. And that is, you know, obviously catapulted her rise to prominence. But all these people speak about religion, right? And I'm not a very, like I said, I'm not a very spiritual person. I have a belief system, but I don't understand how you make peace with this. If this is your whole profession, your profession is to just be provocative and incite anger and hostility and controversy, and you don't believe in any of it. Like, there's no way, like, with everything that she said, she might believe in some of it, but she doesn't believe everything that she says. Like, how do you sleep at night? How do you live with yourself? How do you, oh man, I don't understand it. I don't understand how you could do that.
What I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. He was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. In thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your country's identity and to make sure that what's happening here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK.
But the thing about Candace Owens is that she's too smart for therapy, as she explained to Russell Brand.
She has too high of an IQ.
Yeah,
for
she
therapy.
said a lot of high IQ individuals can't do therapy, and you're sitting there like, yeah.
Maybe take a second opinion.
I'm going to say
Candace.
that, yeah. I think some IQ individuals need therapy urgently.
Kanye West, he decided to showcase his new Yeezy line during the Paris Fashion Week. And of course, it had to be this. Yeah, White Lives Matter. That's great. He partnered up with conservative advocate Candace Owens. Yeah. They were joining together and wearing their White Lives Matter shirt.
And I'm actually staunchly conservative when it comes to the trans debate. And people say, oh, well, even if a person is trans, you should have the decency and the respect to call them by their preferred pronoun. I don't play that game. And what I always say to people is, if you have a mental disorder, that's fine. I don't need to come up to you and tell you that I think you have a mental disorder. That would be rude. Right. But when you have a mental disorder and you're now requiring that I have a mental disorder, right, to meet your mental disorder, that doesn't work for me. Which is to say that if somebody was walking around as a schizophrenic and saying that they were Superman and then telling me that I was required to treat them like Superman, I wouldn't play the game. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about trans. I think the slope is so slippery and they find that to be bigotry. No, I'm not going to call you she. I'm not going to call you her just because you're a grown man and you're wearing a wig and a dress. That's literally telling me that.
Why? How does that hurt you? Again, like, you just want to be what? Hateful? You want to stoke controversy. That's your whole identity. That's the only reason why you would do something like that. I don't give a shit what you want me to call you. Yeah. Especially, fuck out of here, stupid.
I am now required to have a mental disorder because you have one.
That's just a sample of how hateful she is. But again, once more, that is a person Camille looks up to. Kai Holloway of the Daily Beast wrote, Owens is not actually there to be white conservatives' emissary to the black community. No. Rather, she's a tool of racist propaganda and deflection, a black mouthpiece who propagates and validates anti-black talking points.
Yeah, and it makes you feel better about being racist, right? It makes you feel better about being racist. It makes... it gives them some sort of out, right? Trump has said, I think he was talking about Byron Donalds. He was like, oh, there are some good ones. Yeah, what do you think he meant by that? Anyway, if Trump can post pictures of him with black people or him with black supporters and stuff like that, he can say, see, I'm not racist. Here, look at my blacks. And I think he's even said it along those lines, right? So yes, again, conservatives can say, hey, the conservative movement is not racist. What about Candace Owens? What about Officer Tatum? What about Byron Donalds? What about Vivek Ramaswamy? What about all these poster minority people that are conservatives? If we have enough of them sprinkled in amongst our messaging, then, you can't call us racist. No, I can't. These people don't speak for the communities that they're supposed to represent just because of their skin tone and their religion and stuff like that. It's fucking bullshit. You don't get, this doesn't give you some kind of racism armor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, you're fucking still racist, and these people are racist, and they're pieces of shit, and they're just along for the grift. They're just along for the gain, the power, the money that it gets them.
While exploiting her own race to shield white racists like Trump from charges of racism, Owens gets trotted out when white conservatives want to illustrate their idea of a good black, willing to label black culture pathologically broken, claim black people are pretending to be oppressed, and smear Black Lives Matter as domestic terrorists. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports.
Obviously, that's the end of this one. Y'all let me know what you think. Have you ever heard the bullshit redbirds go with redbirds and bluebirds go with bluebirds? I mean, did your parents ever teach you anything like that to try and get you to stay away from a certain group of people? And yeah, like, you know, when it's all said and done, or even better, like, are some of y'all aware of people still teaching that to this day? Yeah, man, I think, you know, we've got a lot of work to do on our society now, and, you know, if we can ever begin to heal from what MAGA has stoked up. But that's going to be it for this one. If y'all learned something from the video, make sure and share it with your people. Keep the information flowing, keep the conversation going. And yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Helps me get out there a little bit more. And yeah, let me know if y'all are feeling the content or not. But until next time, I'll holla at you.
Be my enemy. I pop out, they go wild, so celebrity. Too busy winning, I forgot that I got frenemies.